Do you travel a lot in your field?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm in and out a lot. I just recently got back from North Carolina. I was called to do a show called Mahalia for the festival. The festival happens in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Larry Leon Hamlin is the producer, director. I mean, he put this together. See, and again, people like Larry as people that inspire you to do all kinds of things, because he came in this town, which was a little town, and I mean, now he owns the town. Literally, he owns the town. He tells them what they can and cannot do in many respects. And I really like that about Larry, like how what he had to do, because this is what happens in show business. You have to take charge. You just cannot just do a piece. That's why we're all a bunch of nuts, because you know we have this high-strung energy and we always yakking, and the least little thing can set us off simply because we're so adamant about the way our work show and how it's going to be presented, and it's not easy.
What are some of the choices people with your particular skills have? Like, can they go into television or go into film?
Oh, definitely. Real easy. In fact, what's so exciting about it, while I'm doing shows, I was working with the Food Network, and a friend of mine, Jane Sablow, who's a fabulous designer, and she's been working with me for years. She called me and gave her a hand one night to help her. We worked Christmas, and we've worked from Christmas through New Year's. And all Jane would say, more money, Chris, more money. We were cleaning up, but we were building sets on that whole holiday season. Because, you know, if you notice during the holiday season, the commercials just keep flowing. They just change. So we had to stay up fast as one went up, we was building another one. We got no sleep. We ate it was crazy. We could just send out any time of the night we want, and they had to find food for us. Okay, what time of night it was. We had wine to go with dinner, fruit they would bring us in. We had people around the clock working. So that was exciting. So yes, we can come out of one thing and go into the other.
What about as an actor? How is it easy for a theater actor to switch into television and film?
Yes, it's easier for a theater actor to switch into television and film than it is for a film actor to switch into theater. And the reason for that is, if you notice in theater, we memorize everything. We do not rely on monitors. They out in California, and I say they, quote unquote, you know, they have to have monitors, they have to have people, script readers that is to call lines to them. When we get into a script, we sit down the first week or the first 2 weeks and memorize everybody's part, because again, my next line may come from what you said. Well, in the film, it's the same thing. But if you're not on it or you miss it, then they can go back and cut that out and splice that in. Film, theater, we can't do that. Everything is live and you on stage. So some of the stories I tell, which is a quick one about a theater actor being on stage, and it was so funny because, he said, what my motivation, he says, your paycheck. So which means that means because if you don't do good, you ain't gonna get no paycheck. So that comes with part of the the joke of theater.
Now you're a New York actor. Is there a difference between a New York actor and an LA actor?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. New York actors. Let's put it this way: New York people are high-strung to the extent of we're there every day. This is our life. We're there every day. LA, things are so drawn out. Well, if it's okay, if they get a casting, okay, we'll find it. I want a job, but you have to. It's so drawn out. New York, I could get up in the morning, leave my house at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and be all day out in the street all day, going from audition to audition to audition to audition. And this is in walking distance of everything. LA, you have to make an appointment. They got to have your pictures. You have to drive 15, 20 miles just to be seen. Then you have to drive another 10 miles back to somewhere else and another 5 miles over to see somebody else if you can get an interview. New York, you can walk in. That's the only thing you can do in New York. You can just walk into an audition. and wait till you may not be an equity actor, but you can wait till after all the equity actors are seen, then they will see you.
Okay, Mr. Christophe, what awards or accolades have you gotten in the theater world?
Okay, one of them for the Adelco. I've won a couple of Adelcos. I've been nominated for a couple. I've also am a charter member of Television's Arts and Science, meaning years ago when they were developing it, I was one of the charter members. I'm also a member of the Harlem Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also a member of the Harlem Arts Alliance here in the city. That's basically new. I'm trying to think what all the other awards I got to remember some, but those are ones that just off the top of my head I can remember.
What is Adelco?
Adelco is the unit that votes on all the black productions that go on in and around New York. And it's once a year. It's in November. In fact, I've been already called for this year, November the 20th, and been asked if I would design. I designed last year for it, and they asked this year again, will I design? But this year they want me to come in earlier, so I said, okay. That was just happened yesterday, day before yesterday, 2 days ago. So it's exciting.
Now, we've been talking a lot about New York. Is there a theater world in other cities in the U.S.?
Yes, there is. There are a lot of theaters. There's North Carolina, there's Chicago. In fact, I worked in Chicago at the Happy Medium with Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope. And so it's wonderful. Then they're all over the world. It's just all these little theaters. But now what's so sad about them, we're losing them because funding is really, really bad right now. I mean, the government do not fund our arts. Now, I had a privilege to go to Vienna to work with Opus Dance Company, which is one of the dance companies I usually work with. And last year, November, we went to Vienna. And they support their arts, and it was so amazing to see how much money they throw into the arts to help develop pieces. I mean, we brought over about 10 people, flew them over, fed them, I mean, for 2 weeks, which was a lot of money, which was interesting that we can't do that anymore. We just throw things at you, and if you do it, we can't afford to pay you, and it's simply because we don't support the arts. I mean, the arts don't support the theater here. And it's very, very sad, so to watch it happen.
Where else have you traveled? You mentioned Vienna. Where else have you traveled through the theater?
Europe. I went to Europe. In fact, what so happened is I used to work for Boys Harbor. I used to teach theater arts there at Boys Harbor, which is 5th Avenue and 104th Street. What we do there is train kids, and we took them to Europe. I took them all to Europe. I had 10 people, again, to take to Europe. This was sponsored by the tobacco magnums. So the Dukes is the one that financed that whole thing. They say, well, since you have relatives in Europe, because my father's from Europe, my mother's from New Orleans, then we got that kind of connection, then you need to take them in that. So it was beautiful. We went to Lord's. Lord's is one of the grounds where where Bernadette, the Song of Bernadette, if you're familiar with it, scratched the ground and water shot up from the ground. And it's holy water, and it's amazing. I mean, it is really amazing that the people you see there. There's hundreds of thousands of people on a daily basis that comes into this place just to be touched by the water, just to be, see the people. It's amazing how many people get healed there each year. And you don't talk about it. We brought back water for sick people that we could use. It was so funny because one of the things leaked out on the plane, so we said, well, at least we know we're going to be safe going home. Because it was holy water. They told us, don't put it in the top where your baggage is. Keep it to the ground. Some nut, one of the kids, put the thing in the top. And we know, next thing you know, everybody was blessed on the train, because I'm on the plane, because it was a 9-hour flight, so it was interesting.